All psychics are scammers. Ah, let's talk about the subject. Can psychics really tell you what to do? Can they look into the future? Can they tell you what's up? And can you really trust that information? When it comes to the subject, I think that the word psychic is loaded with this mistrust, misconception, misunderstandings, because it's been used in movies and social media, and a lot of people also wanted to make money from it. And while some people are good at looking around and using what's available to them and give some service, others are, well, people have been burned by it. And that alone, that someone is able to say something and make money by talking what some people call woo woo, some nonsense, some really weird crap, or, like whatever. It's a loaded subject. And let's start with this. Psychic is a person that has clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, person who has the ability for sort of telepathy, recognition, for mediumship, and all of these things. And then again, people tend to think that psychics are special, chosen one, gifted, starseeds. Oh my god. This word is charged with so much misconceptions that, fake news and information that really stirs up a lot of emotions for people. For some, it's positive. For some, it's really negative. But I would like to start with this. People, tend to look at my channel, to use my services, tend to talk with me. They call me a psychic. It's just a label. It means nothing. I don't claim to be a supernatural entity or anything. Psychic does not know it all. Psychic is just like everyone else. And everyone is a psychic. What I mean by that is when we look at these terms, clear audience, clairsentience, clairvoyance, and all of these things, everyone has this ability. And let's look at this. Have you ever in your life had a phone call and you wanted to talk to a person, you had the intention to call them, and you look at your phone, you're about to grab it, like you want to connect with them, and they're calling you? Maybe you wanted like an email, a social media message, a phone call, any way of meeting someone and engaging with them. You had the intention first, you were about to pick up your phone or open the email, and they just call you. They just wrote to you. But you felt it. Both people on their end felt the intention to connect. A lot of people had this thing. When you wanted to look at the clock to know what time it is, and you guessed, and you look at the clock and you were either on time, right on the money, saying exact time it was, or you were just a few minutes away. Lucky guess? Not really. You look around, and someone in front of you, maybe your best friend, your coworker, your sibling, your parents, someone that you know, today they're not the same, talking less. And you're like feeling like something's wrong. And you're gonna talk to them, you're gonna ask a few questions, and they open up and they tell you a big story. Psychic? No, you're just reading the surroundings. But the thing is, everyone, absolutely every single human being does this, want it or not. You don't become chosen one. You don't get this label of, oh my god, a starseed, oh my god, psychic, oh my god, something, and become special. Everyone has this thing. You can walk in a store, you can walk outside, and someone's going to be close enough to you to where, even though you might not hear them, even though you might not know that they're there, you feel them. They walk close enough to you where you have to look at them. You're at the store, at the bar, in school, your workplace, somewhere in public, and you feel like someone's staring at you. And you look at them, and boom, look. You never focus on the person, you didn't even knew they were there. But you look at the person that was looking at you exactly, right into your eyes, and you make an eye contact. You don't have to be a psychic or special to pick it up. feel it anyway. There are tons of experiences that happen in day-to-day life to many people, and you don't become special because everyone has this thing. And in this way, what I want to clarify is that when people talk about psychics, talk about someone special, absolutely everyone has this ability. It's like a muscle. We have the sensory perceptions, and we choose to pay attention to them. Once we learn to listen to what something something that we might feel, see, something is going on around us, once we tune into that, react to it, listen, and see what's going on, it becomes like a muscle. The more often you do it, the more trained it is. And everyone, absolutely everyone, has this thing. Meaning, if someone calls me a psychic, I don't become special, something important, someone better than others. Someone else a psychic? Not important, not better than others. Not chosen one, not someone special. Because people tend to think like this, oh, I'm an indigo child. I'm a rainbow kiddo, a starseed, a Pleiadian, a Lyran, a Nerma, a Tagetan. Ah! And people get charged with this thing, this concept, the feeling state, the soul family, but of worshipping if it's like something similar to, hey, it fits, it's me, it's how I feel, what they explain, their values, their worth, everything. It just matches. I feel exactly like them. I must be one of them. Right. And then there's a little bit of worshipping to some people. There's a lot of looking at someone as the authority. And then this whole duality, whenever there is hierarchy, whenever there's someone better, special, there's always going to be a lot of misconceptions. And what I want to say, and here's the thing, I always try to clear it up. I talk from my perception, just the way I understand reality. Doesn't mean that I'm right, that I know it all. It's just my subjective opinion, just my perception, just my understanding. Nothing more than that. It doesn't make me right, it doesn't make me special. It's just my point of view, like everyone else has. It is my truth, my personal truth currently. It might change any moment. I might encounter a different information. I might encounter a different reality, an experience that will change my mindset. And whatever I told you right now might be different tomorrow. Everything changes around us so fast. And for us to tell that someone is special because they were able to perceive some information that, they went through their own paradigm of how they understand reality, and now they're special. I'm psychic. Oh my god. It's a charged word. But when we look at this whole subject, and when I'm saying that everyone has it, there are tons of experiences in life where you will be able to tap into this ability. Everyone can. It's a muscle that you can train. But like depending on the experiences, depending on how you're able to feel and look at this whole subject. And not just like psychics. Gonna tell you the future, gonna tell you what to do, gonna tell you about their past lives and everything else. That does not matter. It doesn't matter. Past lives don't matter. I think like even like this whole thing. Oh, psychic will tell you about your other parts and past lives and other things like that. We have to look at every single subject and look a bit deeper. And I think that in this whole subject, there are tons of words that has labels and this charge emotions on it, misconceptions and ideas that we never really dive deeper into it. And it's like everyone has this assumption or judgment before actually delving deeper into the subject. A psychic will tell you about your past lives. Even people are like, Aquila, tell me about my past lives. Do I have to talk to you about time? It's a hard subject. One, because English is not my native language. And even if it was Lithuanian where I talked in my native tongue, it would be hard to explain. Because I don't think that humanity has words to actually sort of transcribe or translate what we see, what we perceive, into words that would explain what's going on. And we have so many concepts, so many words, so many definitions, that even while we try to do our best to translate everything we're perceiving into words to understand an idea, we're still not really getting the whole subject. Even talking about love. It's a vague word. You can talk about certain feelings and what it means, but that word, charged as well. Every word can be charged. Anyway, psychic, telling you about past lives and stuff like that. If time does not exist, there is no such thing as a past life or a future. There is only now. When we talk about now, what's currently happening, when we talk about past lives, when we talk about futures, all it is your consciousness, a point of view, a point of awareness, being in the present moment, no matter where it is, just looking from that perception, looking from that certain frequency. When we're looking at now, however you're feeling, and again, sorry for my English, because I will never, ever be able to say what I want to say completely because of the language barrier, because of my understanding, because of my lack of ability to perceive and then give the meaning to those words and say what actually I felt with it. Even tapping into past lives and future or something, people wanting to know what happened before coming here, your consciousness becomes present in a moment, present in that event, present in the frequency. It is not necessarily that it happened previously or it happened afterwards, it's always here. Same with densities. It's not like 5 or 6 or 7 dimension is higher or second or the first one, or they're lower densities. It's all on one level. It's not like there's past or future, higher dimensions, lower dimensions. It's all one place, one point. And just imagine like an overlay. If this is present, this is also past, this is also future, this is also different dimension, this is also the new called New Earth, and whatever you want to say. It's all in one place, one moment, now. But the thing is, your consciousness, your presence, your awareness, the way you, as a consciousness that's in a physical body currently, the way you perceive reality, you're currently looking through these two eyes. And what's going to happen when you shift to past or the future or any other moment or any other dimension or any other aspect is your eyes will look from this moment. A different body, a different place, but it's all here, all right now. It's not that it's happening somewhere far ago. Like, yeah, we can do past life regression. And people are talking about, and even I and others are saying like, oh, well, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, a few million, a few billion, a few quadrillion, a few undecillion years ago. Amazing. Means absolutely nothing. It does not make you an older soul or a special someone. No. It's all in the present, all happening right now, except your consciousness moved into that aspect and is looking from that aspect. And whatever that aspect is aware of or knows, you become aware of or know. It's not past, it's not future, it is happening now because your consciousness shifted and basically you're just aware. It is the same as, and it might not be the best explanation, but you can take a phone and you go on Google Photos or something and look at different countries. You open up and like, oh, Switzerland mountains, amazing. You're present currently looking at the Switzerland mountains. You swipe and you're in Mexico now. You swipe, you're in Italy now. You swipe, you're in Greece or something. Amazing. You're not jumping in the past, present, future, or something like that. It's just currently, right now, becoming aware of something different every single moment, depending on the frequency, depending on the focus. That's all it is. When we're talking about past lives, you're just connecting to an aspect of you that is experiencing the reality And you're just like focusing on that frequency, that part of you. If you would look into a past life, just a different aspect of you experiencing reality with a different information, with a different field, with a different frequency, tap into it, you tap into that knowledge. If you wanted to remember past lives, you would look at a moment and it would be present. It doesn't become past, it doesn't become future. It's all present, all right now. But you become aware of a certain frequency, certain information. That's all it is. So to predict something, to tell some information, it's literally like, okay, well, what moment, what frequency, what information do you become aware of? It is just a single dot, single star in this never-ending universe and sea of stars. Just a one piece of puzzle and this never-ending image. And we become aware of this little part, this little part, this little part. We're trying to make sense of what's going on, but we can't really explain everything because we don't have the full knowingness. To tap into your know-it-all, all time, all space, good luck. You can focus on one thing at a time. If your consciousness can bilocate and have a split screen and you can have a few experiences at the same time, amazing. But that's all it is. You're seeing one piece, one puzzle piece, one dot, and that's one little focus. It does not explain everything, it explains that one moment. So to try to piece the puzzle to have a full image of what's going on is pretty much impossible. And we're talking about psychics, but it's everyone. You don't need someone else's help. It is all within you. And even you can use various techniques to look into the information. And your consciousness is like a dog. You give it a command, it follows. If you tell yourself to look at the moment before coming here on Earth, look at the moment or an aspect of me a few lifetimes ago or something. Looking again at that time, but it's all present, it's all here. You're just focusing on something different. You look this place, you see one view. You look this place, you see another view. It's all the same, it's all around you, but you're becoming very specific about what you're looking at, very specific about the information you're going to receive. And it's all, again, going through the prism of how you personally understand the reality, how you personally view what is going on. Your personal experiences is like amazing if you can be empathic and look from someone else's perspective and try to leave the personality, the beingness that you are, try to disconnect from your own logic, from your own values, try to disconnect from the way you have built yourself as a character, from your story, from everything you have experienced from the moment you were born up until now. If you can disconnect from that and look from someone else's perspective, that is great. But if you can't do that, then it's just your story. And I think a lot of people who talk about psychics, they're expecting something special, but it's not. You and everyone else are that. It's a muscle that can be trained. Some people focus on it, some people try to develop it, others don't. But everyone has this ability to look around, something's off, but it's every single detail that you notice that you might not consciously think of that's actually running through this filter, through this logical thing that's like, okay, if this happens, then, if this happens, then, if this happens, then. You look around and someone you know is not talkative. Okay, well, one rule, they're not talkative. Something's up. Not smiling like usual. Something's up. Reacting to something. Something's up. And you ask a question and they're going to tell you a thing and they open up and all of a sudden, I picked up. I knew that something's up. Oh. Well, you, in the background, from the moment you were born up until now, have developed this understanding that when people are not feeling so great, when something has happened, they might close up. They might not want to talk about it. They will try to keep it in to sort of like just keep it together, try to survive. You've done it yourself. Oh my God, how did someone pick up that you're not doing so good? Easy. Look at your smile. Are you smiling right now? Your eyes? Are they open and full of joy, or is actually like, reading cues from every single piece around you? People pick it up, but it's everyone. It doesn't make you special or something. And, oh boy, this subject is really charged. There's this whole subject of soul family, guides, and other things. Soul family is pretty much just like choosing a car. I said it once before, but imagine throughout your life, you try plenty of cars. Maybe you try plenty of clothings or a pen, and you end up choosing your favorite one. You try a lot just for experience, just to know what it's like to drive one, to sit in one. But you find one that you really like, wow, now this is comfort. And you just like find something that really fits you. Some people like to play video games on consoles. Others are using PC. Others are like, ah, oh, phone's enough. You find something that works for you, that you're familiar with, that you like. Same with soul families. Because of your consciousness, that has so many aspects that depending on which one you tune in, depending what kind of frequency that aspect is living in, depending of the surroundings of that aspect, there's going to be plenty of lives that are very, very different. And it's also like depends on what kind of information are you aware of right now and in that life, that aspect currently. And we might look at like, oh, Pleiadians, Digetans, Arma, Lyrans, and everyone else, like trying to find the one. It's not about the one. You've tried everything as a consciousness, just for the experience. But currently, as you're looking from this aspect, right now, on Earth, with information that's accessible to you, with your own values of what you've been through, of what has built your character, of how you view everything. Depending on how you feel currently, your current perception, what you're aware of now, you choose what's available to you. You choose what you are similar to, who you connect to. And from this aspect, you're feeling like that is my soul family. Because right now, depending on like current frequency and how you feel and what you understand, you will align with one thing or few. And you'll think that this is the one. Tomorrow, if your frequency changes, tomorrow, if your understanding changes, you might feel like, well, yeah, but that was past. Now I feel like this is the one. And it can be constantly ever changing. So to think of the origins or that it is the one, it's what you're currently aligned with based on this frequency, based on this current understanding, based on the current values, based on the current logic, based on your current experience that you've been through your from birth up until this very moment. Looking at every single thing that makes our image like, yeah, this is the one. Allow yourself to connect to another aspect. Not in past, present, future, or something else. You're just becoming aware of something different. That other aspect might have been through a completely different life. Might have understood everything very differently. Might have different values, different frequency. Everything is different. And all of a sudden, that aspect of you says that, no, this is not my soul family. I have someone else. And you're like, well, doesn't match. Why? It's not the one. Based on your experience, based on the frequency, it changes. So our alignment with someone, it does not make it special. It is just what you are currently feeling familiar and similar to. Oh yeah, this matches. Look at your experiences with people. If you have been in the kindergarten, well, you might have found some friends. And then there's school, and then there's college or university, and then there's work. And you go like, okay, well, you've had a lot of relationships. How many people where you felt like this is my best friend and you connect with someone so well, have you stopped talking to? Have you stopped connecting with? Because something has changed. At some point, that was someone special, someone, the one, my soul family, my best friend, my someone, my soulmate, my twin flame, my something, significant other, husband, wife, whatever. Life changes. You change, your values change, your understanding changes, and look, well, Yeah, used to be a friend. Really loved him. Really cared about her. Not now. Right now, you have different priorities, different understanding, different values. Something changed. That connection you've had at some point, it's different. But imagine that whatever you have experienced from birth up until now that has built up, if you have so many different aspects based on all the realities and all the alternatives, it's going to be a buildup. And it will not align. It will not be all the same on the same line. There's going to be a variety. So with the soul families, no, it's like with the car. You have had many that you might have liked or tried, and something special is just like, well, this is the one. It's just what you currently align with. Just the current comfort, just the current thing, based on this, which is changing always. Okay, guides. Do we need them? Angels and archangels and guides and our ancestors, so on that. Amazing. Doesn't make them special. Doesn't make them someone we should be listening to, because even them, even all of them, will have a different perspective, a different way they view life, a different understanding, a different frequency, a different experience. And to think that we should connect with our guides. Who's my spirit guide? Who's my ancestor? I need to learn from them. Oh my god, they're so good. Aren't they now? If you had to teach a child something right now, you would be teaching them based from your current understanding, not from your all-knowing self. And then life changes and you grow up and like, okay, 50 years later, you're like, based on what I know now, I would have taught them a different thing. Really? Well, you piece of shit. Why didn't you do it in the first place? This is how people view psychics. How dare they not tell me everything? How dare they hide that information? Bitch, please. Everyone has a different perception, different understanding, different values. It's always changing. And it's a charged subject. So when we're looking at psychics, people tend to put them on a pedestal and make them special. But it's everyone, absolutely everyone who is going through this, one way or the other. It's just like, are you using the abilities and muscles that you have or not? Not everything. People tend to walk, so their legs get strong, but they're not using the upper body, so the upper body's weak. The core might be weak. Okay, you're sitting on a machine, you're working out, you have like strong arms, you have strong shoulders, your pecs are amazing, your abs are amazing. Your legs are skinny little sticks. Like to go on a walk, do some squats or something. So same with like all these abilities. To look around and to evaluate what's going on, to catch every single cue around you, to learn how to feel when someone gets close to you without looking at them. And you can do these tests like where you close your eyes and you just stand, allow someone from your family walk from the furthest wall up to you and see how, like, catch the moment where you feel them enter into your space, your personal space, of how well you allow others to get close to you. Can you keep them in the distance, or can you like allow them to be really close to you? With someone else, like that might be a stranger to you, you will keep some distance because survival. Are they good for me? Can I trust them? Are they gonna kill me or not? Do I fight or flight? Can they be trusted? It's that evaluation in a few moments. But if you close your eyes and like complete stranger, you might be in New York City, you might be in India, you might be in the Middle East. Can you trust everyone? Not really. You choose just a very few that you would really, really allow them to be on your own personal level, where you can share your thoughts and openly talk about anything, and you know that they might not understand you completely, but they tolerate you, they accept you, they don't judge you. And that's amazing. But not everyone is like that. Which is why, if you allow yourself to even test, like you close your eyes and see how many different people, one by one, can walk close to you. With some, you can allow them enter into your space and be close to you as close as possible, touch you, hug you, and everything else. But with some, you will feel like, something's off. And you will look at them, you will look back, and there's going to be a distance. But it's enough for you to feel like, oh, stop. This is it. This is as far as you get to me. This is as close, you know? So That's like one muscle. Just feeling someone entering into your own personal space, looking at the clock and like telling the time, getting a phone call. These are like everyday life situations that we encounter, but there's many. So with this, like with the limited understanding we have from this perspective, because as consciousness, yeah, consciousness is everything and everyone all at once, right? Or not. It's the way to look at it. This current aspect, this perception that's in this physical body is one thing. If you can zoom out and become aware of what's going on, that is great. But to fully disconnect from the physical body and its experiences, from this aspect, from your own identity, that is pretty hard to do. To be just a blank slate, be nothing. Not connected to a character, not connected to the name, not connected to the reputation. No, it is just pure awareness. That is where you can look at someone else and sort of become them. To look from their eyes, to be in their shoes, to feel how they feel in their body, to become aware of the information that they have as like consciousness shifting, entering someone else, and all this stuff. Amazing. But it's a muscle. It has to be trained. There's a lot to it. But with it all, scam or not, special or not, say no. It's equal. Just like everyone else. You, me, and everyone else. It's a muscle that everyone has that has to be trained. Some people choose to give it a priority, others don't. Eventually, you're special and everyone else is special. But when everyone is special, is it special? If everyone was rich, was it actually rich? Or was it just the way life is? Nothing special about it. There's a lot. But hey, feel free to share your thoughts. The way you understand reality, the way you understand the subject, the way you look at it. It's a charged subject. Is It has like a lot of misconceptions, misperceptions, misunderstandings, and I think it should be discussed. I don't think that I'm right or I know it all, but when people are putting labels and expecting something, and then we're like, well, shit, but then this is how I understand reality, and I don't want anyone else to change it. But all of these things, to look into past life or the future or other aspects, whatever, you can do it all yourself. You don't need someone to tell you stuff. And even in the first place, you should not listen to anyone. You don't need help. You don't need anyone else telling you what to do. No, never. Even me. Don't listen to me. Don't. Yourself. Always put yourself first. Always trust yourself, because this is the only thing that you know. The only thing that you know. The only perception you have, the only understanding you have is you, not anyone else. Which is why soul family, spirit guides, psychics, anyone special, it does not matter. You're the only thing that matters. And it's all on, are you able to use the muscle? Do you want to use the muscle? Do you want to train the muscle? Do you want to understand the muscle? Everyone has this thing. Absolutely everyone. But it has to be used, it has to be trained, and we have to look at it from many different perceptions just to get a different image. Because again, it's only one piece of puzzle in this never-ending thing, never-ending image. We will never have the full understanding and be able to tell the full story. It's just like, well, this aspect, this perception, this reality, this frequency, that can be ever changing, with so many alternate realities, with so many different frequencies that we can tune into. Forget the dimensions. It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Imagine the radio channel. Oh my god, 101.5. Amazing! Fifth dimension, special! No! You turn the little knob, it changes. It's not special. And you're turning the little knob. Oh, well, here's a nice song. Amazing. And you turn the little knob. Here's another station. Amazing. Ever changing. Never ending number sequences. the D's and whatever letters you want to put in there, it does not make it special. Doesn't. But for us, for whatever we perceive and see and feel, to put into words and to try to explain anything, with the languages that have so many barriers, languages that are constructed to actually limit us, because there are so many definitions, and even then it doesn't really transcribe the whole meaning. First, to try to explain anything, even me with my language barrier, English being my second language and not knowing all the words, it's so freaking difficult. And I'm sorry. There are things that I see, that I feel, that I perceive, but to put it in words, pretty much impossible. Yeah, I can try to say like, well, I assume that this is the thing. Is it though? Is it actually meaningful? Does it actually mean what I want it to mean? That's the challenge for me, personally. But even then, like, these are like really hard concepts, and I think our understanding and even language is limited enough for us to not be able to tap into it fully. Which is why, when you listen to someone else, you will run it through your own personal filter, through your own bullshit lie detector. You can tell and feel when someone's lying to you. You've been through a lot. People can tell you something, and you're like, it's not the thing. You will know it. Yeah, when I talk, I might look genuine to someone. It might look authentic to someone. It's because I personally believe what I say right now, which might change tomorrow. But right now, this is the way I perceive reality, and this is the way I try to relay that information to you. Is it truth? To me, yes. To you, based on your perception, based on your prism of understanding, it will be different. So when someone tells you something, you're running it through your own filters, through your own understanding, through your own values, through your own logic, and that meaning and the image given to you and the concept and understanding changes based on how you perceive everything. That already doesn't match. And even then, what is the truth? The higher knowledge and stuff like that. Nothing means shit. That is just an opinion, an understanding, a perception, the way you see reality right now that can change tomorrow because you encountered new information or a new experience. It's always changing. And even then, it's best to look within. All of this, past lives and future lives and other aspects and the knowledge and accessing Akashic records and a lot of fancy words for whatever the subject you want, it's all within you. You don't need anyone else. You don't need anyone else telling you stuff. You need to learn to listen to yourself. And that's the hardest part, where people don't believe whatever they perceive, they don't understand what they perceive, and they need someone to tell them what they saw or felt. But that's the problem. People end up using that. And then we don't know. When we listen to someone else, is it true? Is it channeled? Is it actually the way it is? You need to see and experience everything for yourself to believe it, to see it, for it to be truth. It's like people with, oh, UFOs or aliens do not exist. Paranormal shit, nope, it doesn't exist until it happens to them. When it happens to you, you will have no way to tell that and have someone believe you fully. Because for them, it did not happen. It's not the reality. It's not the truth. It's not a thing. And this is where there's a lot of limits and barriers and misconceptions. Someone experiences something that it's really hard to explain, but they've been through it. They lived it. It's their truth. It's their reality. Try to explain to someone who, no, how can it be a thing? I didn't see it. I do not know how it looks like. My understanding is this. My logic is this. My reality is this. It does not match with what you're saying. So how can this be true? No, it must be lying. You're lying, but we're just having different experiences, different point of views, different awareness, different understandings. And this is where we have to come in and be able to talk about it. What I'm sharing right now, it's my subjective perception today, which might change tomorrow. Which is why, like, this whole thing with psychic, special, Arcturian, Pleiadian, Taygetan, whatever, it's not special, it's not better, it's not higher, no, nothing. It is simply consciousness tapping into one point, becoming aware of something, trying to understand something. All the answers are within you. You do not need anyone else telling you stuff. But if you have limited understanding and start listening to someone else and your bullshit detector, lie detector says like it's not true, it's your thing. It's your different perception, your logic, your values, your understanding. When there are differences, there are lots of conflicts. And people tend to have a lot of, I don't know, arguments and beliefs that like, oh, this psychic is lying, and I hired 5 psychics to tell me one story and they all told different things, so they're all scammers. And who do I believe? Yourself. Believe only yourself. The only thing that you can trust and believe is yourself. Because everyone else will tell you a perception that they have. Their logic, their values, their experience, their side of story. No matter what you're looking at. The things that they tap into. Psychics are okay. Well, tell me about my relative. Tell me about my past. Tell me about this. You, when this massive book, let's just say I'll pick up, well, here's a book I have. Amazing. So many pages. One psychic, a person, looks at this detail, this little page. Other one will go, well, there's a thing they're gonna focus on. With tons of pages, tons of subjects, tons of things, information streams all over the place, but you're choosing to focus on words. You're choosing to focus on one little detail. It's like, you might have heard about this photographic memory, and it's like running a book with tons of things upside down. Information flows, but you don't focus on word at a time. You're not reading from beginning until the end one word at a time. You allow everything to just flow, and you choose what to look at. And that is the difference. Where you will memorize word by word specific little sentences, and your eyes follow a sentence, your eyes follow information stream, and this is the thing you become like, okay, this is what I focus on, this is the truth. But when you have full access, it's like your past lives, whatever your consciousness is aware of, and everything else. It's like massive, never ending information streams that you choose to look from this vastness into one little part, to one little subject, into one word, and give it the meaning. So with all this past lives guide, someone else telling you what to do, what to look at, different truths, different people telling you different stories, it's never really gonna work unless the information with what you believe, what you've been through, what you value, how your logic works will align with someone else. And that is why everyone needs to learn to understand that you have this muscle, that you can use it, that you can use it properly, that you can use it properly to get a certain result. And this is the only time where people will be able to tap it and do it all themselves. But until then, there's going to be plenty of stories, plenty of misconceptions, plenty of judgments. And to have the subject about something we will never fully understand because we're all looking through our own understanding prism, it's going to be difficult. And then language barriers and other things. And I can go on and on and on about it. But let's drop the labels. Let's drop people from the pedestals. Let's drop the misconceptions. You can do it all yourself. There is no one special, no one better, no one higher. And even then, looking at your own overself, your own higher self, it's you, same you, looking from a different perception. Not special, not better, not more important, not more knowledgeable. You looking from a different perspective. That's all it is. But this is the way I understand things currently. It might change tomorrow, depending on the information and the experiences I have. And I just want to invite everyone to discuss about it. To not necessarily judge, but to try to have an understanding. And even then, I don't know if it's true or not. For me, it is right now, but it might be different. And it would be good for people to share their perceptions, their stories, because the information we encounter might change our understanding. It might become better. It might help us in one way or the other. And then we access different information. We run it through our own filters, through our own understanding. And then we might agree to some new realities, new truths, new something. That being said, it was a rant, but I'm glad I did it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm looking forward to reading some comments. Take care.